Hello all, welcome back, and hopefully you're doing practice and you're doing well. In the last two sessions, we understand set timeout and set interval. And today we are going to understand what is clear interval and clear timeout and what is the importance of that. Okay, we can just go with some examples so that it's very easy to understand. So here I just created designed two buttons. One is stop and start and stop, and another, like I'm just displaying the count. Initial count is 0. So with the help of set interval, I want to just increment this count every after 1000 milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds means 1 second. For every second, the count should be increased by one number, and we can control it. Okay, let's say first we can set the timer. So we know already, we understand. If you didn't complete last two videos, please go back and learn those things, practice and come back. So what I'm doing, it's very simple. First we need a variable. Suppose we need to define the count, initial count. The count is 0. It's very simple. And then we create a function. The function, okay, and we need to update this information. Okay, so here document dot get element by an id. Don't worry, I will give a name for the function. Display name dot inner html equal to this count value. That's it. Whatever the count is there, okay, we are going to update in the DOM. Like we are going to update here. So even just we can remove this one. So initially the count is 0, and we need to increment dynamically with the help of setInterval. So this is the function. Look, this is, I'm just defining the callback function here. Okay, this is a simple callback function because we are going to use it as a callback function now within few seconds. So set interval. So suppose if you want to go with any asynchronous things, we need to use the timers. Like set timeout is different, set interval is different. Suppose if you want to do a same action continuously with a simple interval, we should go with a set interval, and it is expecting a callback, and how many after how many milliseconds it should in, do this execute this callback function. So that is 1000 milliseconds. So now I'm just simply moving this to this argument. So now it is a callback function. So what is a callback function? If you pass a function as an argument to another function, it is a callback function because we are passing this simple function as an argument to the set interval, so that it became the, we can call it as a callback function, and we are using arrow function syntax. Okay, so here we are good at how what is a callback function and how to convert a callback function in normal function into a arrow function. Both are very important. Okay, here simple. Suppose if you start set interval, and it is going to execute this statement every after one um, a second, and it should increase, but we didn't implement increment logic, right? So what we need to do, so every second, what we are going to do, we are just doing increment, and we are updating that value in the browser. So let's see, save it and refresh whether it is working or not. So right now 0, 1, 2, 3, nice, it's working. So if you put a set interval, Okay, every time, every after 1000 milliseconds, okay, it is taking the previous count and it is incrementing, and at the same time it is updating the information in the doc. So okay, but I want to stop it because right now I want to go outside or I want to take a break or something. So at the time I want to stop it. I want to stop that count. Just so for that, because if you start that set interval, okay, unless until if you close this browser, okay, it will keep on incrementing the logic. Okay, so sometimes we don't need, suppose after some time, okay, we should stop it. Okay, how to stop that? The set interval. Okay, it's very simple. It's very simple. And just please try to understand here. Whenever you execute, whenever we execute, whenever JavaScript engine is executing set interval or set timeout, okay, anything. So what it will do, it will attach a timer in the browser. Okay, just imagine this is the timer. It will attach a timer in the browser and it will return that ID. Suppose this timer ID is 1, just for simple understanding, this interval ID or timer ID is 1. So what it will do, whenever you invoke this set interval, whenever you invoke this set interval, here you are passing this callback function, you are passing this callback function and you are giving 1000 milliseconds. So whenever you execute this statement, immediately it will attach a timer in the browser and it will return this ID. So it is always return a ID. So that what we need to do, we should store that ID somewhere. Okay. So here, interval ID or timer ID, whatever you can, that's your choice. You can give any name for that. So it will be available. And after that, what you need to do, whenever you want to clear that, so that you will get a reference to that timer, and you just give that the number, the timer ID to a clear interval method. This is very simple. Clear interval. So what it is expecting, so you should pass this timer ID information, this timer ID information to this set interval as an argument. Okay, it is going to stop this timer which is there in the browser. So whenever you call set interval, it will create a timer, it will attach a timer in the browser, and it will generate an ID for that and it will return to you. Whenever you want to clear that interval, just simply call that clear interval with this timer ID. Suppose if you have a 10 or 20 timers at the time, you should know which timer you want to stop it, right? So you should store this ID properly and you should just bypass the clear interval so that it will stop this. Okay, so let's see now. Here anyway, I want to stop it. I want to stop it. So stop, the simple button and on click event is there, and I just mentioned stop timer function. So let's see, we can define that stop timer first. The function stop timer. So what it will do? So first we should store the interval, right? So that we need another variable to hold the timer ID. So I'm just giving a timer ID. So right now nothing is there, so just not storing any value unnecessarily. So here this set interval is going to return the timer ID. Okay, so whenever we are invoking this stop timer, at the time this is very simple. Just call clear interval, clear interval, and pass this timer ID. Pass this timer ID. Super. Hope you guys understood. This is very simple. This is simply callback function. Even you can just define everything in one line if you want. Okay, I think what's wrong. Okay, just okay, keep it simple like this also. Hopefully, if you have done a practice, it's not a big deal for you. If you didn't practice, maybe you will get some confusion. So this is okay. Anyway, we are going to write some complex logic with promises and all those things so that you should habituate it to the syntax. So clear interval. So whenever I click on that this button, it is going to invoke this stop timer, and at the same time, this if you're taking help of clear interval, so it will remove that timer in the browser. So if you see, boom, refresh. So count is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's very good. So I want to go for a break. Suppose at the time just click on stop. Wow, it's nice, right? It's nice. So suppose okay, stop is there, and if you want to start again, okay, or if you want to restart again, reset again. So start means in this example, I'm just implementing like that. If you click on start, it should start from zero, or you can say that reset or something. Okay, or you can implement like a start, a stop, and pause also. So if you click on pause, it will pause for a while, and again if you click on start, it will keep on increment. Okay, so right now just and my understanding, so even I don't want to start the timer automatically. So if whenever I click on a start button, then only the count should start. That's why what I'm doing here, we have another button that is a start timer, another button, so that I'm going to implement this one here. Whenever we click on the start timer button, so we are going to invoke this function. So whenever you click on this start timer, at that time only we need to invoke the set interval. So I'm moving this logic so that user can control now. Whenever user wants to start the count, he can start the count, and whenever you want to stop, he can stop it. So let's see what will happen. So just refresh the browser. So that right now, if you see the count is zero, it's not going to increment because we just moved that logic to a start function, start timer function. So that will invoke whenever user is going to click on the start button. So I want to start that logic again. Start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. I want to stop it. Stop. And again, I want to click on start. So you see, it's working, right? Stop, start. Okay. So the assignment for you is just implement three buttons. Implement three buttons. One is for start. Okay. That's very important because you should think logically and you should implement. Stop, pause, and okay, stop. What we can do, reset. Start means okay, we can go for reset. Or like you can just go on imagine reset. I will tell you one thing. Start mean the counter should you should invoke the you should start the counter, or you should set the timer. Pause mean you should pause it, and whenever you click on pause, and at the time suppose if the count is 7, and again if I click on start, it should start the count from 8. Okay, 7, 8 or something. Suppose reset means this count should start from 0 again. Okay, reset. I hope you guys understood what I'm expecting. So please do practice, and if you have done, just send me that logic to svgie.naren@gmail.com so that I will cross check and I will reply to that email. Okay. So please do practice. And one more thing. So in the next session, we are going to understand, okay, how browser is handling all these asynchronous calls inside the browser. Okay, that's going to be super important thing. Of course, I'm going to cover that thing in the next video. Okay, event loop, callback queue, call stack, and web API, everything is, we are going to discuss each and everything in detail. Okay, that's all for this session, and I hope you will do practice and you will learn properly. So learn one by one, do practice and do revision, because without revision you can't understand. And very soon we are going to do a coding challenges and projects also. See you in the next session. Bye bye.